Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be taking a class on Introduction to Tableau for Beginners. Tableau is one of the most used data analytic tool out there. So you want to master the use of Tableau in your data analytic journey. So without wasting much of our time, let's get started. So Tableau was founded by Christote Pat Aranam and Christian Chabot in the year 2003. 2 years later, they launched their first product called Tableau Desktop. Then 5 years later, they went online, launched their product called Tableau Online in the year 2010, which is basically the cloud-based analytic response to the desktop earlier launched. So in 2019, it was acquired by Salesforce, basically enhancing majority of its integration capabilities. Now, Tableau is one of the leading AI tools for data visualization capabilities. So the following are key features and functions inside of Tableau. The first one is a data connection, enabling you to connect to different data sources, Excel, SQL, cloud databases, CRMs, ERPs, etc. Then you can also prepare your data inside of Tableau with an engine known as Tableau Web. It's basically the data cleaning and shipping, engine for Tableau. The third one, which is like the most important one or the most useful engine, is the data visualization, where you create reports, interactive dashboards, charts, graphs, map, etc. Then there's the analytic part of it, which is like the built-in calculation for doing any kind of statistical analysis and predictive analysis. Then lastly, you can share and collaborate your work inside of Tableau. This is where you want to share your work with the stakeholders or your team members or whoever it is that wants to consume that report or dashboard or whatever it is that you have done inside of Tableau Public. The pros and cons with other BI tools. First pro is that it is easy to use. It has an intuitive and drag and drop interface. The second is the visualization. It has a very superior visualization compared to a lot of data visualization tools out there. It has a very fast data processing and rendering, great community service and support. The cons is kind of pricey. It has the learning curve is kind of tough, for people that are not familiar with the data analytic terrain. Then the integration may require some additional tools for functionalities. So let's compare it with Power BI, which is like the major competitor in that industry. Right? For benefits, compared to Power BI is relatively low in price. You could easily integrate Power BI to other Microsoft products like Excel, Microsoft SQL Server, Microsoft Teams, SharePoint folder, name it. Then most people agree that Power BI is user-friendly compared to Tableau. Also, Power BI has a fast, secure data processing, right? So that is on the benefit of Power BI over Tableau. What benefit to Tableau is it has very, very advanced visualization capabilities, multiple data connectivity. Customization is wonderful. You have numerous customization options. Limitation, however, we're not going to focus on Power BI because today's class is not about Power BI, but Tableau is relatively high. Challenges with Microsoft integration, limited real-time support, and manual data updates. So that is the theoretical part that we are going to look at inside of Tableau class today. Next thing I'm doing is to head over to my Google Chrome browser. So you want to download Tableau first before you start using it, and you can do that by going to www.tableau.com, or you can easily type in download Tableau Public, and from the first search results, you just go ahead to click the link, and here you go. You start the download. Tableau Public. So just click on the first search results. So I'm on the Tableau website, the download page actually. So I'm not downloading the Tableau desktop. So I'm interested in Tableau Public. So come to the products web page here. You can see Tableau public. So you just click on Tableau public. So you can say, click on go to Tableau public. So you have to sign up here. So click on the sign up. Then just ask you for few information. So you can just put in your name, last name, email, password, confirm it. Then you click on create my account once you are done. So I already have my own Tableau public, so I'm not going to re-download another one again. So, but this is just like the very simple step for you to download your Tableau public and start your data analysis work. So I'm going to open my Tableau public right now. Then we can continue with the class. Once you are done with downloading and installation of your Tableau public, and immediately you launch the application, this is the interface that you will get. Okay, so you have different data source connector, although kind of limited. Don't forget this is Tableau public. With Tableau desktop, which is the paid version, you are going to have as many data connecting source as possible. But this is what you have here. So if I click on more, so I have all these other data source connector, right? So most of the time, your data will be in Microsoft Excel. You understand? Even if it's not in Microsoft Excel, you can always download to Microsoft Excel. Then from Microsoft Excel, you can now ingest the data set into Tableau. So I'm going to click on Microsoft Excel because that's actually the data I want to use is in Microsoft Excel. So I'm going to click on Microsoft Excel. So I have my folder. So wherever your data set is, you can always navigate inside of your local machine to where the data set is. So my data set is in this folder called data sets. So I'm going to go down. So I'm using the other data, data set. So I'm going to double click to ingest that particular data inside of Power BI. Sorry, I'm going to ingest inside of Tableau public. So as you can see, so this is my data set here. So I'm going to expand this so that I can have it. So you can see this is the view of my data set. It's showing me the first 100 rows. So these are my columns. Okay. So from row ID, order ID, down to the last column. So each column has its own information on the top. So for this now, this is telling me that this particular column is an integer with this side. So if I click on this drop down button or a filter button, so I have option to update all this. I can rename it, I can copy value, hide, alias, create calculated field, which is like a measure inside of Power BI. If you use Power BI measure, you understand create calculated field very well. You can create groups, base, more like the histogram part of Tableau, etc. So you can do some little data cleaning work here. However, this data I'm using is kind of clean, so we don't need to bother ourselves with data cleaning activities. So you can see right here, it says go to worksheets. In Tableau, each visualization will be created inside the sheet. Unlike the other ones whereby on a particular sheet or page, you can have as many visualization as possible. Right? So, but Tableau, you create each visualization in the sheet. After that, you can now, once you are done with all the visualization, the insights, you can now create a dashboard whereby you can pick each and every sheet that you've created and place it in the dashboard in different parts of the dashboard. You understand? So I'm going to click on go to worksheets. So it opens this interface for me. We're in sheet 1 right now. So you can see these are our data sets on my left-hand side. So I'm just going to scroll down a little. So you can see that Tableau kind of partition the data set into 2. So the first part is the dimension, which are basically the text data or the string data or the qualitative data. These are the categorical data. While on the second part, the second partitioning are the so these are called measures. So they are the quantitative data or the integer data type and all of that. So you can see it's just letting you know that these are numeric information, while these are non-numeric information. So this is the report Canva where you can easily see, just drop your feed here. You're just doing the drag and drop, and that's all. Then you have rows and column up here. So you can drag any of these guys into rows and into column as the case may be, or you can just easily drag them inside this Canva, whichever works for you. So this particular section is basically like the formatting section where you have the text, the size, the color, detail, tooltip, etc. So we have the filter pane here. So you can always select a particular column, then remove some values or include some values that you are not working with. Then we have the pages, so you can navigate from one page to the other. So on my right-hand side here, we have the visualization. So this is where you select any kind of visual that best pass the information across to your audience, and has quite good numbers of visualization. So we have the tab here, right from file down to help, very, very useful tabs to do whatever it is that you want to do. Then also the ribbon based on whatever you select, on top here by the tab. Okay, so you can now start doing your analysis now, as the case may be. So for this data set, there are a lot of things that we want to look inside of this data set. Okay, so now if you are struggling with getting anything done, with any data set, let's say you are given an assignment or a project to just, brainstorm on the most important insight, or think about the insight that you can work on, and start building the visual. So this is where AI comes in. Basically, ChatGPT, you can actually consult AI to help you with the business requirements or the problem statement, as the case may be. So I'm going to edge to my Google Chrome browser now to, have some conversation with ChatGPT about this data set and all of that. However, I have to show you how the data set looks like in Excel, okay, so that you can have an understanding of what data are we actually working on. So I'm going to open the data set in Excel right now. This is the data set in Excel right now. So you can see, so if I do a Control Shift down, we have almost 10,000 rows of data. So I always say this, understanding the data is extremely important before you start doing any data analysis work. Okay, so we have, if I do a Control Shift, right arrow, we have like 21 rows of data, 21 columns of data, I beg your pardon, you understand? So each information, each column has its own usefulness. So this is a row ID. You can see serially numbered from the first row to the last row. Then this is the order ID. So this data is collected from, these are e-commerce business data. And data is collected from a period of 2015 to 2018. That's like a 4-year period that this data has been collected. So majority of this data, in fact, this data is like an auto-generated data with little to no, margin for error or chance of having error. You understand? So I'll quickly rush through what the data is all about. So it's just like you going to any of the e-commerce website to place an order. The website takes some of your information down and they record it at the back end, then generate or download the data from the back end. So this is the order ID. So if you go to any online shop, so you, of course, are going to have an auto-generated order ID. Then the date at which the order is being placed, then the shipping date that you eventually, want the orders to be shipped, then the shipping mode that you select. So if I click on this filter button, we have like 4 different, class of shipping: first class, same day, second class, standard. So you can choose whichever one you want. So this is the customer ID. Each of the customer has their own unique identity. The reason is because 2 of our customers can have the same name, but they cannot have the same ID. So that's why ID is very important, right? So this is the customer name. So as a customer, you are being segmented into 3 major segments. You're either a consumer or a corporate or home office. So you always belong to 2. So this man, quite good, is a consumer segment customer. So this data, the business is in the United States. So the city that the customer, is placing the order from. So this man is placed from Henderson. Look at this place now. So you can see that here now, quite good. You can see that we have two repeated. It looks like it is being repeated twice. This is a single order. You can see the order dates and the shipping date and all of that, and even the order ID. However, this person is actually buying two products, but in a single order. You understand? For instance, now look at this Bosina Hoffman from row ID 6 to 12. So this is a single order, right? But this man is placing order for 5 products. He's actually buying, this man is buying 7 different products, right? But it's actually in a single order. So that's how it works. So these are the city. You can see it comes from Los Angeles, from the state California. So if I click on these states filter button, you can see that these are all the states in the United States that they place this, that customers can place orders from. So this is the postal code, the region, Central East. So this is the product ID, the category. So the business, they are into 3 different categories of product. They are into furniture, office supply, and technology. So whatever it is, whatever order you're placing, or whatever products that you're buying, it will fall in any of these categories. So also, again, there's another column called subcategories. So each of these categories, they can also be subdivided into subcategories. For instance, if I click on furniture, so I'll have these subcategories under furniture: bookcases, chair, furniture, table. Same thing for office supply, and same thing for technology. Okay, so that's how that works. So you can see that you have product name. Apparently, this business have a lot of products, probably more than 1,000 products. So the best way to get more insight is to categorize them and give them subcategory. So for bookcase subcategories now, so you are going to have a lot of products under bookcases. You can see, so these are all the products under bookcase subcategory. You understand? So you can also always do a lot of analysis. So these are respective sales. So for instance, now this particular product, this is the sales amount. The customer is placing order for 2 quantity. There is no discount, and this is the profit the company is making. The company can also make a loss anyway. So that's like the explanation of the data set. So let's head back to our Tableau public application. So we are inside this place now. Like I said, so you can, if you're struggling with any insight that you want to derive, you can always go to ChatGPT. So I'm going to go to my Chrome browser now. So I already have an account. If you don't have an account, you can create an account. It's very easy. Just go to chatgpt.com. So if you're on chatgpt.com, so if you already have an account, this is this is the next page to take it to. But if you don't, so you need to create an account and sign up. So now I'll just I'm not going to do much prompt engineering. So I just say you are a professional. Kindly suggest meaningful insights that can be derived from this data. So what I'm going to do is just to copy the column header of this particular data, or whichever data you are using at all. So I'm going to say Control C. I just call my ChatGPT. So I'm just going to paste whatever it is I copied there. So now I've told you to suggest me that I can derive from this data. Then I'm going to hit enter. So these are a lot of insights or analysis that you can actually, get from that particular data. There are lots of them actually. That's a very robust data. So you can do salesperson analysis, total sales by profit, sales trend over time, top performing product and category, which is very useful, customer segmentation, product analysis, product performance, impact of discounts. So there are lots of them that you can actually do. So potential question to ask, to answer: what are the sales and profit trend for the past year? Which products or categories are the top performers in terms of sales and profit, how to shipping. So a lot of them, I'm not going to go through everything. So you can also generate like descriptive statistics, mean, median, standard deviation, etc. So I have a couple of what I want to achieve with this particular data set. So I might not be able to do all of them. So now the next thing I'm going to do is that I already have the insight that I want to generate, right? So the first thing I want to do is to actually see the sales trend over time. Okay, so you can decide to drag, the column inside of rows and column, or you can decide to drag it inside of the Canva here. You understand? Whichever one that works for you. So I'm going to drag my order dates inside columns, and I'm going to drag my sales inside row. So you can see I have something like this. So whichever column or row you decide to drag your feed into, Tableau will automatically generate a kind of a visualization for you. It's not left for you to change it if you don't like that. So this is a line chart, as you can see here for line. So you can now come here and change it to, whatever it is that you prefer. So I can come here and click bar. So this is my bar chart now. So you can see that from 2015, 16, 17, 18. So you can also put your data label also here. So I'll just scroll down. So I'm going to drag my sales because that's actually what I want to see. I want to know, okay, I want to put some of the values here. So I'm going to drag my sale inside of label. So you can see that I now have my sales, blah, blah, blah. So you can see from here, this is just for a yearly data set. If the analysis you want to do is for a yearly basis, so you can leave it here. However, if you want to dig down, I want to do one or two things. So I can duplicate this particular data. Or let's say before we leave this place, so you can just come here, double click. This is the title. So you can just say sales by year, or give it whatever name that you want, and you can format this particular title. Although I'm not going to do much of that, I'll leave that for you. So you can, probably bold it, increase the size, change the font type, and do all sort of things. So what I'm just going to do, I'm just going to put it by the side. Then I'm going to click on OK. Then you can also do other things like, formatting the title if you want. So just click on this arrow bar, and you see format title. So you can put some shadings there, the colors, you understand? So you can have something like this if you want. So there are a lot of things you can actually do with that anyway. So I'm going to duplicate this particular sheet. You understand? So I have this. So this time around, I want to drill down to more information. Like I want to get the quarterly sales, the monthly sales, and even the daily sales. If that's what you want. So you just go to the column on top here. You can see this is the dates. Yeah, you can see there's a plus sign here. So this is like, the drill through of the particular dates column. So if I want to get more information like into quarterly sales, I'll just click on this plus sign here. So you can see I have this now. So you can see I now have the quarterly sale below and the years above. So mind you, this is for a particular data visualization type. This is for line charts, even though it is in bar, because we initially started it as a line. Now, what I wanted to do for this particular data set is that I want to have a continuous line chart. I don't want it to have these breaks like this and all of that. So I will just select on this continuous. You can see this continuous. So I'm just going to do like this, and it gives me line charts. Okay, so I can now come back here and put my sales label if I wanted. These are so you can see that my sale is probably every Q4, it goes up, then it's tagged Q1, then it's rebounded, it continued, then it's peaked at Q4, tanked again. And so you can see the pattern that the data is going. Every Q4, we're always having an increase in sales, and every Q1 is where we have very low sales. You understand? So don't forget, you can always change it in this particular place, in this formatting section. If you don't want the line chart, if it is bar that you want, just click on bar here. You can see now This is 2015 Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, etc. Understand? But I just want to see this in a line chart, so I'm going to return it back to a line. So that is for quarterly sales. So if I want to do to the next level in the hierarchy, which is after quarter is month. So I'm just going to click on this plus sign again. So you can see the trend now on the monthly basis. This is February, this is March, while this is November 2018, then December 2018. So that's how you can go about with this particular information. So you can see that. So you're able to get. So let's put it in a bar chart. I want to show you something. So what I can see here is that every Novembers are always probably the first or the second in terms of high sales. So this is November 2015, November 2016. You can see November 2017, then November 2018. While February's are very low. This is February 2015, another February, February, February. So these are the insights. So you don't want to do too many activities that has to do with you spending in the month of February. And if you want to do some activities that require you to spend, I mean, when you have more revenue, you can always take it to November. Okay, so so you can also do something also here. You can probably change the color if you want. You understand? So you can probably have this kind of color or change it. But so I'm just going to stick with the color that I started with. So I'm going to go back to my line charts now. So I have this now. So other things that you can also do instead of Tableau for a line chart is to do a trend analysis. To do trend analysis, just come to the analytic pane here. You can see the analytics. So I'm going to click on the analytics. So we can make use of all these forecast, trend line, and all of that. Trend line just to say, okay, it is actually going up, or tanking, or there is no movement at all. You understand? So I'm just going to click on trend line, just double click. So you can see it brings out this, so sale is doing very good. You understand? So that is it for trend line. So you can also do a forecast. Excuse me. So maybe you want to forecast the next 2, 3, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, how the sales going to look like. Understand? So you can just come here and just double click on forecast. So it's going to give you this forecast. The forecast starts from this place down there. So this is the actual and this is the estimate. You understand? So you can see that by December 2019 is forecasting $103,000 for us in sales. Okay, so I mean, these are going to be some useful information for people to plan, for managers, head of businesses to plan and make some decision and all of that. Okay, so that's like the system. So you can just come here and rename it sales trend and forecast by month. Okay, so I'm going to click on OK, then we're good. You understand? So I'm going to open another sheet now. So this time around, what I want to do is I want to check out some measure. I want us to see some measure of central tendency, some statistics. Okay, so this time around, I'm going to drag my subcategory. So if something is too much, you can always search here. So subcategories, I'm going to drag it inside my column. Then I'm going to drag my sales inside of rows. So I have something like this. Okay, so by default, it's going to sort them alphabetically. You understand? So you can, resort it either in ascending or descending order by the value, by the sales value. So we don't really care about alphabetical. We want to care about which of the subcategories is giving us the highest sales and the one with the lowest sales. Okay, so don't forget, let's drag our sales label inside of this place, right? So now to do that, to do the sorting by highest and lowest, so you just come to the ribbon here. So there are a lot of information. You can see this is sorting ascending by sum of sales, while this is sorting descending, by sum of sales. I'm going to click on descending now. So you can see phone is the one with the highest sales revenue. Then the list is fast now with $3,000. dollars. So this is a very good one. So another thing that I also want to show is that sometimes you might want to have different colors of each of these subcategories. Okay, so you can just drag your subcategories inside of column. So you can see, I don't know why some people like this, but I don't think I like something like this. But it might actually work for you. I don't think it's bad anyway. You understand? Just that the legend here is always, so that is that. So again, I've seen other reports that they make it the larger value and in thicker color. Then as the value drops, the color starts to fade. You understand? So to do that, you are going to drag your sales inside of your column. Don't forget, the first one we did was to drag a subcategory, which is a dimension inside column. But this time around, we are going to drag the numeric value inside of column. So you can see now. So you have the thicker colors, the color I'll take here. So as it goes down, the sales tends to the color tends to reduce. Okay, so that's how you go about that if this is something that you like. And you can see the legend here. So when it's like 300 plus, get sticker and all of that. So now, as I was saying, we want to check some other statistics. So this is by sum of sales. Sum of sales. However, there will be times that you want to perform other statistical analysis, like maybe counts, average, distinct counts, and so on and so forth, variance, standard deviation. So you can always come here. So it's always done in the numerical variable. You can see sum. It's telling us that the operation is performing here it's a sum operation for the sales column. So if you want to change it to another kind of statistical calculation, just click on this drop down button here or a filter button here. Then you go down to the measure here. You can see it's already in sum. So if you want to get like average now, average just means the sum and the sum divided by the count, right? So I'm just going to click on average now. So for average now, the most performing subcategory is copiers with an average of 149, etc. So I will go back again. So let's say if I want to do let's say I want to do counts now. So I'm just going to click on counts. Then you can sort it. So this is by number of time that this subcategory of products are being selected or ordered on the e-commerce shop, right? So you can always do a whole lot of things that you want. Like, in fact, you can do distinct counts, the median, the minimum, like probably want to check the minimum they ever ordered for any of these items, or even the maximum. So this is the maximum they ever ordered for them. So you can always do a lot of things as possible. In fact, you even have it to the standard deviation, the standard deviation by population, the variance, and the variance population. And so these are more than enough for you to explore anything you want to do about the data set. So I'm going to leave it to the sum. Then I'm going to, no, sorry, I'm going to leave it to the sum here. Sum, yes. Then I'm probably going to remove the sum color. So I wanted to have the uniform color. So we have it like this. So that's how to change any of these guys, any of these column into a different statistical calculation. Okay. So as we have this also, there will also be times that you also want to do a percentage, right? So you don't want to always show numeric variable, which is, to me, it's kind of sometimes the executive, they don't want you to display financial information. So it's better you always put it inside of percentages. And even percentage also help you to know the percentage contribution of each of the item to the business. So let's say you want to look at, okay, what is tables contributing, what is storage contributing, etc. So to do that, just similar process, just click on this drop down here, then come down and you see quick table calculation. So here we have a lot of operation that you can perform. So this time I'm going to say percent of total. So I'm going to click on percent of total. So you can see that we did the percent of total, but we still have the labels here. However, The percent of total is on our y-axis here. But the thing is that we want to put the percent of the total on each of the subcategories, right? So what we are going to do is our first thing is that we're going to remove the existing label, which is the sum of sales. Yeah. So I'm going to remove this out. So you can see, although if you overround it, it's going to be showing you 14. But at the end of the day, if you print this one out, we are still not going to see the percentage if we don't put it there. What if, I mean, it's not going to be on this platform forever. You understand? So what we are going to do is that we are going to, so this is percentage of sum that we have done. So you just drag this and drop it inside the label. Don't worry. Then you cannot drag your sales back to your rows. So that's how you get this information here. Okay. Alternatively, just like how it was before, when we have it like this, you can just easily come here, then come and click on add quick table calculation, then click on percent of total. So you can see. So I think this is much more better instead of going the other way around. So that's how you get it. Also, again, you can also do rank. So you want to rank this. So sometimes you want to rank them by first, second, third, fourth, etc. So I just click on rank here. So to rank there. So this is the first, second, graph 17 subcategories. So depending on whichever information you are seeking. So I'm just going to leave it at percentage of total. So I'm going to leave it at that. So you can rename this subcategory by percent of total. Subcategory by percentage contribution. So that's how we're going to do that. So put it in the middle. Okay. So now let me duplicate this slide again. So another thing you can also do here, and I'm going to put it that I'm not going to put any calculation here. I'll just remove it. Then remove this also. Then just drag the sales here. Then you can put the sales label. So another thing you can also do is that you can actually put another numerical variable, on the same sheets with the same x-axis, with the same categorical variable. So what we want to achieve here is that we want to look at the sales and the corresponding profits, whether or not even some of them are giving us, a good sales revenue. Are they leading to the same, profit? You understand? So you can come here and drag your profit also inside the rows. So you can see now. So this time around, I'm going to check. So the thing here is that look at it now. The labels are the same, which is actually not supposed to be. It can't be the same profits and all of that. So we're going to do some little formatting. The first formatting I want to do is that I want them to have different colors. Okay. So I'm just going to come here. So this is for all of them. You can see all. So if you want to format them individually, so we have sales, then we have profits. If you want to format them individually, just click on the profit here, then change the color. So I'm going to select this color. So that's how I was able to do that. Then another thing I also want to do is that this label have to change. This is still a sales label, even though you can see these are negative. So you are going to drag your profits. So Tableau just give you the liberty to do anything that you want to do with your data. So I'm going to drag my profit inside of my label. So you don't forget to remove the sales away. So you can see now, I now have this profit. You can see that this is a loss minus $17,725, etc. So you can see that even though tables is giving us, like the table is the fourth selling in terms of revenue, but we are running at a loss, a very huge loss of 17,000 within that period of time, within that 4 years period of time. You understand? So machine very little. In fact, book cases were also running at the loss. Then supplies we are running at a loss. So we want to do something about this problem. So for tables now, you probably want to increase the price or maybe divest the resources to other, profit making subcategories. For instance, now, even though copiers is not in the top 5 or even top 7, we are getting a lot of profit from copiers. In fact, copier is the highest in terms of profit, but it's probably in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, but it's probably number 8 in terms of revenue. So these are decisions that we can look at. So maybe tables, you can just leave it. Then the sources from tables, you can take it to copiers and all of that. So this is also another wonderful thing that you can insight or information that you can get. Okay, so let's move to another one. So this time around, I want to explore pie charts. Okay, so we want to know as per category, which of these categories is giving us the highest or the lowest, the percentage of their profits to our total sales. So we want to know, maybe is it category that's giving us the highest profit? Is it technology that's giving us the highest sales, or office supply or furniture? That is what we want to know now. So the best visualization is actually a pie chart. So another thing you can also understand from here is that, or why Tableau has an edge, is that in each of these visualization, it will tell you what you require for them to pop up. In other tools, some of my students will make complaints about, okay, they selected a particular visualization and nothing is popping up. You understand? But this will show you, okay, if you want to select, if you want to use a particular chart, say horizontal bar, you need at least zero or more dimension or one or more measures. If you are using a pie chart, you need one or more dimension, one or more measure. So it's going to tell you the requirement of the data types that you are going to be needing to ensure that the visualization comes up, right? So I'm going to drag my category inside of column, then I'm going to drag my profits inside of row. So automatically I have something like this, which is actually not bad anyway, if you ask me, right? But it's best if you can do this in pie chart. So if you click on pie chart now, this is what it's going to get you. Understand? So it's going to get you this small pie. So let me put it in excuse me. So let me put it in the entire view. Yeah, it's make more sense like this. So now, if you don't overround it, it's not going to give you the corresponding value. Okay, so you now need to do that yourself. So by dragging the profit inside of the label, so you can see all the profits now. So technologies for 145, the highest, followed by this, and lastly this. Then also, you can also add the category label. So if you don't overround it, we won't know that this is technology. So you can just come here, category, then drag it inside of the label. You can see technology, furniture, and office supply. So again, you can also add the percentage contribution, which we have did earlier on, and also add it to part of the label. In majority of the BI tools, probably 2 values is just what you have liberty to use. You understand? So, but here now you can use as many as possible. So I can drag profit again inside my label. Oh, sorry, it's already there. So this time around now, so this is my profit now. What I'm now going to do is that I'm going to come in. So I'm going to come here, click on quick table calculation, then click on percent of total. Then I'm going to drag it inside label. So you can see now, so we have 3 different values here. We have the profit, the category, and the percentage contribution. Right, so it gives you a lot of things. So these are a lot of information that anybody, if you're interested in knowing the actual value, fine. If you're interested in knowing the percentage, fine. So you can now come here, right click and say profit by category. Although you can be creative about the title, but because of this class, I'm not going to dwell too much on that. So I'm going to click on OK. So I have this. right? So now the next thing we're going to do is that we're going to look at the concept of filtering. So filtering are extremely important. So there'll be time that you don't need all the information. From what ChatGPT even told you, it says that you want to look at the top, probably by subcategory, the top customer, the top city, state, etc. Okay, so this time I want to look at customer analytics. Who are our top 10 customers or top whatever number you want customers? Okay, so I'm going to come here. So I need to select the customer name. You can see there are more than 1,000, probably 1,048 customers. So I just want to say, okay, add all members. I'm not going to filter here. Then I'm going to drag my sales inside those. So we have all these sales value. So let me just drag to the label. So this time around, so we have done sorting and filtering. Yeah, so we have done sorting ascending. So this is ascending from the lowest, while this is from the highest descending. Okay. So alternatively, you can also swap rows and column. Right. So I can come in and I can swap. So this is already in excuse me. So this is already in horizontal from left to right. This is horizontal here, so we're going to make it vertical. So I'm going to do this. So we have this information now. So this is their respective amount they have expended with us, the purchase that they have ever made in during that 4 years period. So Shamila, Tamara Chan, these are our top customers. So you can see the whole 1,000 plus customer. However, we don't need all this information. We only need our top 10 best customer in terms of revenue. So to do that, so you are going to use, so the filter is applied to the two variables, both the numeric variable and the categorical variable. But if you want to get your top 10 or top whatever, you are going to make use of your categorical variable. So just click on this filter button here. You will see filter, show filter, and a lot of them. So I'm going to click on filter. So we have different categories of filter. Before we won't go to the top 10, so we are going to take look at them one after the other. So the general means that you are just selecting certain people or certain values, and you don't need all of them. So I'm going to click on no. So let's say I needed information from Adam, Erin, these guys. You understand? These are just the few people I just want to see their information. I don't need all of them. So I'm just going to click on OK, trying to show me all their information. So that's what general does. You're just selecting the particular value you are interested in seeing. Right. So the next one, I'm going to look at this filter. So click on all to include everything back. So the next one is the white card. So white card is basically you, like I used to use an analogy, looking for a needle in an haystack. So you have a bunch of information and you're just looking for certain trend or certain pattern, you understand, in the data set that doesn't take the same pattern with the other one. So probably you want to see information of people that contains, when anybody that has Adam in his name, you want to see their information. You want to see their sales value. So I'm just going to type Adam. So just give me everybody that contains Adam. Understand? So I'm clicking on OK. So these are all the Adams here. Carol, Adam Hart, Adam Schillenberg, Philian Mark Adams, even though is the last name. Understand? So that's how to go about white card. So it could also be start with maybe anybody name that starts with Y. Probably you're trying to recall a particular customer, but the only thing you could remember is that his or her name starts with Y. So just come here and click on Y. So we have two people that their name starts with Y, Yana Sorensen and Joseph Caro. So we're still under white card anyway. So the other is ends with certainty or exactly match certain information. Maybe Zedicus. You just want the information from Zedicus alone. And you don't want to be, scrolling down or tapping, you can just do that. Right. So let me clear everything. So the next one is the condition. So what condition does is that, okay, maybe you are looking for sales of people that is above certain number or below certain number, either by sales or by profits, you understand, or that is not equals to certain number, depending on whatever it is that you want to do. So I'm going to click on by field anyway. So are you looking at it by sales, by shipping, or by any of these variables? But most of the time, it's always the numeric variable, right? So let's say you are looking at sales. So we are looking at the operation that is, it could be any of the operation. It could be that is it by the average sales, the median sales, the count or minimum, whatever it is. So we're going to look at it by sum of sales. So now these are the operator that is available. So you can say, okay, anybody that does between us above so amounts, that's what you want to see. So I'm looking at any of my customer that did maybe from 10,000 and above, greater than or equals to 10,000. So I'm just going to type 10,000 here. And you can also do minimum and maximum or range. Minimum, let's say 2,000, maximum 10,000. So but this time around, I need anybody that does 10,000 and above. So I'm clicking on OK. So we have all these customers that did just 10,000 and above. You can see the list is 1033 and 2504. You understand? So the last but not least is the top. And this is the one that we actually want to achieve. So we want to look at probably our top 10 customers. You understand? So you can also do bottom also, depending on which one that you are interested in. So I'm going to click on top. So is it by sale? Okay, this time let's say by profits now, because profit actually makes sense. So I'm going to do by some of their profits. So who are the 10 customers that we are getting more profit from? So I'm going to click on OK. So these are in terms of profits, time charm, budge, etc. So you can come here, you can just say top 10 customers by profits. Okay, so I'm just going to click on it. Just put it in the middle and click on OK. So that is how to get that. So another thing you can also do, so let me duplicate this particular sheet. Okay, so I also want to do something which is, so we call that we have been focusing on the the categorical variable for our filter. So don't forget, once you are done with anything, you only have to put them in none. If you don't do that, it will be difficult to overwrite what you just did. So just put it in none and click on OK to return everything back to status quo. Okay, so now what I want to do is now I want to look at this time. So there will also be time that you want to do like a range, minimum and maximum range of your sales. So okay, maybe we want people that does between 10,000 to 15,000 or whatever value, or let's say 12,000 to 15K. You understand? So you can always come to this numeric variable to do that. So you can see it also has its own filter. So these are its own features for filters, range of value, or you want to do, okay, at least, anything that does at least or at most. And this is special, which is maybe for values, non-value, or this range. This is actually where I like it the most, range of value. So you can always move the slider or even type the number. So let's say we are looking at 12K to 15K. You understand? So I'm going to click on OK. So we only have like this, like 7 to 8 customers that does between 12K to 15K. So let me change this color here. Okay, so just about that. So this one, we're just saying 12K to 15K customers. So there might be just any kind of request from you by the stakeholders, depending on the kind of information that they want to get from the data sets to aid their decision making. Okay. So let's look at other visualization. So this time around, so you can also use other visualization like area charts. Area charts are very cool visualization. So sometimes you want to look at trends and pattern of different values in a category, how they overlap with each other. Is the size of this affecting this? Understand? So is there a causation factor? What is there a correlation factor between two or more variables? Okay. So now this time around, so I want to look at the segments. Then I want to look at how is there any causation or correlation between different segments as in terms of profits. Okay. So don't forget if you are using area chart, it's telling that you need at least uh one date, zero or more dimension, and one or more measure. Okay. So I'm going to select, bring in my dates. I'm going to put my date inside my so let's okay, I think let's put it in my color. Although you can always switch it anyhow you want. Then I'm going to put my profit inside my row. So so you can change it from here now. Now, this is my profit from 2015 to 2018. This is the progression of my profit. So now what I want to do is that, so I want to look at my profit by quarter. So I'm just going to drag my segment inside of color. Okay, so this is what is happening here now. So you can see that in Q1, where they are almost the same thing, but I think consumer has a slight edge in terms of the profit. Then Q2, consumers start to go, same thing with corporate. Then Q3, it continues. Then look at Q4 now, which is our ISM season in terms of revenue. So look at Q4 here now. The highest here is still consumer products. But look at Q4 2016 now. Corporate took over. Like the gap is kind of wide, gets wider in Q4, and we don't have much profit from consumer. Okay. Although you want to see that they are almost the same thing in 2015, yeah. But the following year, it thin out consumer and we have more profit from corporates. And this actually makes sense. Although if you look at the initial data set, if you are to look at it in terms of sales, there's a wide gap between consumer and corporates. So let me do that here now. So let's look at it here now. Let me duplicate this sheets. So this time around, instead of having my profits now, I'm going to drag my sales inside. So you can see now, consumer is always, the one giving us the highest sales revenue, except for maybe during this period that it's almost the same with corporates. But look at it in terms of profits now. It's kind of different. So what you can see here that every Q4, majority of our profit comes from corporates. Q4. Now, the surprising thing is that in Q4 of 2018, which we have the highest revenue, you can see the highest revenue in 2018. But for profits, it's actually not our highest season or period. And the funny thing again is that the profit for corporate tank, and majority of it comes from consumer and home office. So maybe there is something that went wrong here. Probably, the marketing guy didn't do what they're supposed to do, or just somebody somewhere, just something just went wrong internally, or it could also be externally. But the point here is that despite all the revenue for the Q4 2018, the profit is not commensurate to the revenue. And the guy that is always bringing us the profits is is corporate, but unfortunately, the profit is very low, 2,745. So that could be the reason why we are having a decline in our profits from total of this to this. Okay, so it just shows us the interplay of different variables as they affect each other.